You hear your phone ring late at night. The caller ID says unknown. Do you answer it? What if you shouldn't have? In tonight's story, it was past midnight when Emma's phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. The sound was sharp, cutting through the silence of her small, dimly lit apartment. She frowned. Who would be calling at this hour? She picked up the phone, the screen glowing brightly in the dark. The caller ID read, unknown. Emma hesitated. She almost didn't answer. But something curiosity maybe made her swipe the screen. Hello, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. At first, there was only silence. Then, a faint sound, breathing, slow, ragged, and uneven. Emma's grip tightened on the phone. Who is this? She demanded. The breathing stopped. And then, a voice. Low, distorted, and barely human. You shouldn't have picked up. Emma yanked the phone away from her ear, her heart racing. She stared at the screen. The call had ended. Weird, she muttered, trying to shake off the unease. But as she set the phone down, it buzzed again. Same number, unknown. She declined the call. It buzzed again, and again. Each time, the buzzing grew louder, more frantic. Emma's hands trembled as she finally turned the phone off. The apartment fell silent again, to silent. She glanced around, her eyes darting to the shadows in the corners of the room. That's when she heard it. A faint knock, not from the phone, from the front door. Her breath hitched. Who could be at her door at this hour? She crept toward the peephole, her pulse pounding in her ears. Through the tiny lens, she saw nothing. The hallway was empty. She let out a shaky laugh. Just my imagination, she whispered to herself. But as she turned away, the knocking came again. Louder this time, and it wasn't coming from the door. It was coming from inside the apartment. Emma froze. Her eyes darted to the hallway, the bathroom, the closet. The knocking grew louder, more insistent, echoing through the small space. And then, her phone lit up again, on the counter, still turned off. The screen flashed one new message. She didn't want to look, but she had to. Her fingers shook as she opened the message. It was a single word, behind you. Emma spun around, her scream caught in her throat. The room was empty, but the air felt heavier, colder. And then, the whispers started, faint at first, like leaves rustling in the wind. But they grew louder, closer, until they were all around her. Voices she didn't recognize, speaking words she couldn't understand. And then, one voice broke through the rest, clear, cold. You shouldn't have picked up. Emma's vision blurred. The room seemed to tilt, the walls closing in. She stumbled toward the door, fumbling with the lock, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, more frantic, until they were all she could hear. And then, silence. The apartment was empty. Emma was gone. But her phone remained on the counter, the screen still glowing. A new message appeared. Call ended. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling tales.